Should you buy a car from Carvana in 2022? This is a big question. You've seen a lot of horror stories about Carvana. I've seen a lot of horror stories, and I felt like I might get into one of those situations, but what the hell? You only live once. Have a little fun. And back in March, I decided to get rid of my vehicle and purchase a car from Carvana. I decided to trade in my vehicle to Carvana and then purchase a vehicle there, thus taking off from the price of the vehicle that I got on Carvana. Now, I paid like $8,000 for my vehicle. Maybe it was $8,500 about 2 years ago, just something to get around. And I decided I wanted something nicer. So when I plugged in my information, you basically plug in your information if you want to trade in your car. They gave me a price of just about what I paid for it back 2 years ago. So I was like, well, hell, now's the time to sell, boys and girls, because, you know, used cars are very expensive. Now, Carvana does offer financing options. You guys are probably well aware if you know me from my main channel. I'm a cheap bastard. I save my money, so I had some good money stockpiled in order to purchase this new vehicle. So I went and just foregoed that. I decided to pay for the car outright after the deduction for trading in my vehicle. They basically set up a day in the middle of March, and they were like, okay, this is the day your vehicle is going to get here, and we're going to drop off your vehicle, pick up your vehicle, and then you'll see if you like it. Now, you have a couple days to check out the vehicle. You do get an initial test drive, then you have a couple days to check it out. And if anything goes wrong or you don't like it, you know, you could return it. If you want to bring it to your mechanic within, like, I think it's like a 100-day window, you could bring it to your mechanic. If there's anything wrong with the vehicle from the purchase, Carvana will actually reimburse you the difference. So, you know, what do you have to lose is what I figured. So on the day of the arrival of my vehicle, I got a call from the delivery driver. He said, what time do you want me to come? I said, come as soon as possible, my dude. I want to see my new car. And then on the way over, he actually called me again. He was like, hey, did you know that this vehicle has a carbon fiber hood and a carbon fiber lip and a carbon fiber spoiler? And I said, no, because the vehicle was black, and in all the pictures, it showed just a black vehicle. It didn't look like there was carbon fiber on there, and from a distance, you can't tell that there's carbon on there, but up close, you can. And he was like, well, is that a problem? I can turn this around, we can cancel this transaction, and you could pick out something else. And I was like, no, that's freaking awesome. Like, that's stuff I wanted to do anyways to it, so bring it on, bring it on. So he brought the vehicle. He was, you know, pretty much like 15-20 minutes after he called, he was at my house. He took the vehicle off of the truck, and then he loaded up my car onto there. I gave him the title for my vehicle, and I had to sign a few papers, and he told me to go drive my new vehicle and make sure it was up to my standards, which it was. It's a fast son of a bitch. I love it. I love driving it. Very comfortable, very luxurious, yet fast. And that's the RGT mantra, kind of. I don't know. I'm not really a luxurious person, but when it comes to cars, damn it, I like my luxury. So I took it around the block for a little bit, tested everything out. I had no clue how to drive it. I had no clue how to, I was looking for the shifter in the middle, and it was on the wheel. So yeah, that was fun. I looked like a jackass, but everything was cool. So he said, okay, well, you have a temporary plate on here. We'll do the registration process. You'll get your plates and title in the mail. And I said, okay, cool. And then we came across a little bit of a problem. And this was probably one of the more interesting things, was that, like I said, I purchased this back in March. My temporary plate was good until June 13th. Well, it's a week into June, and I don't have my new plates. So I'm calling Carvana. I'm doing their online stuff. They're telling me that the vehicle was titled and registered in my state on May 24th, and that I should be getting the documents anytime now. They said it takes 7 to 10 days to get the plates from that. I never got the plates. So I went ahead and looked. I did a VIN search on the car to make sure that the vehicle was indeed registered and titled in my state. It was. So with that in mind, I was kind of like, oh, well, what do I do now? If you've ever dealt with the DMV, especially now in my state, it's appointment only. So I was like, well, shit. The first appointment was July 1st. And I was like, well, you know, I can't talk to anyone there. You try to call them. It's like a 2-hour wait. My temporary plate is expired. What am I supposed to do? I tried to get another temporary plate. My state does not offer more temporary plates. So I went down to the DMV. I needed to get a license renewal for this state anyways, because I'm lazy and I never got it. I thought that maybe that was a problem. When I went to the DMV, I got my new license. And when I was there, the lady was actually super freaking helpful. I was like, look, I bought this car off Carvana. I have not gotten my plates yet. You got to help me out. You got to let me know what's going on. So she ran a VIN search, and indeed, the car was registered and titled in my state on that date, May 24th. But for whatever reason, the plates never got here. According to her, she thought that maybe the plates were sent to my old residence, which was on my driver's license. I double checked with the guy, and I said, look, you're sending it to my current address, right? Because I've moved several times since this license. He was like, yeah. I think that they did indeed go to the wrong residence, but since the car was already registered and titled in my state, it was 25 bucks and I could get plates right there on the spot, or I could wait to see if the plates ever showed up. So I was like, fuck, 25 bucks, sure, go right the fuck ahead. So she handled my plates for me, told me that if my plates do indeed come in from this vehicle from Carvana, just throw them away, but more than likely they went to my old residence, which is from like 3 years ago, so I'm not going to get that forwarded to me. So as it stands right now on July 8th, I am still waiting for the title from Carvana. I did reach out to them. I said, hey, what's the status of my title? They said on June, it was either the 1st or the 3rd, that the title was being taken care of. It would be sent to me. It would take 5 to 10 weeks. So I'm waiting on that. I still do not have the physical title in my hand. So if I wanted to sell this vehicle right now, I don't have a title. I would have to register or apply for a duplicate title, which it's not really that hard or anything like that. Because like I said, everything is registered to me at my current address and everything is good. So overall, what do I think about it? It could have been a little bit smoother. You know, it could have been a little bit smoother. I would have liked the plates to have just shown up and the title just to have shown up, and I would never have to go down to the DMV. But I guess possibly with my driver's license being an out-of-state license, there may have been an issue with that. Even when I registered the vehicle while I was there at the DMV to get the plates, the lady was having a tough time getting my old address off of my thing and putting it into my new address, which is from a different state completely. So it seems like there was some sort of holdup with that. I did clarify with Carvana that the title was being sent to my current address, which is what I'm at now. I gave them that address and they did say that that was the address that was on file and that's where the title would go. So overall, you know, it was a little bit clunky. It wasn't as bad as a lot of these horror stories out there. And really, at the end of the day, I got everything solved. Yes, I had to pay an additional $25 to get the vehicle plates there at the DMV. That's not a big deal. You know, $25 to me, whatever, that's fine. The vehicle that I purchased was washed, waxed, detailed completely when it was given to me. Everything on the vehicle was mint. Great tread wear on the tire. The brakes have tons of life left in them. So the vehicle itself was definitely a high quality vehicle. And at the price I paid, it should be a high quality vehicle. So overall, if I had to give like a numerical score, I would say a 7 out of 10. You know, it was good. It wasn't great. It could have been a lot worse, but there was a few speed bumps along the way, but some of that, you know, may have been because of my whole license issue. Now my license is in my current state, so there's no more reasons for stuff like that when I want to buy cars in the future. Would I purchase another car from Carvana? I definitely think I would, you know, just as like a secondary car. I am looking at something, you know, I kind of want a drop top to drive around in the summer or something like that. I am looking at some cheaper cars, of course, in that sort of market, but I would definitely entertain purchasing off of Carvana again, because really, you know, the whole purchasing process was very easy. The registration is where the problem sort of lied, but it may have just been because of that. And overall, 7 out of 10, could be an 8 or 9 out of 10 easily, I feel, if there wasn't that whole registration issue, but it is what it is. It's taken care of, so I don't care. So should you buy a vehicle off of Carvana in 2022? It's not a bad idea. I definitely think you should sell if you're looking to get something else, sell your car to Carvana. They will pay you top dollar for that shit. Come pick it up, handle all the paperwork. You don't got to worry about nothing. You don't have to worry about nothing. That's the best part of the whole thing. My mother actually sold her car to Carvana and they scheduled a pickup date of it. And then a week after that, it was like a couple weeks out that they were going to come pick up the car. A week after that, they called her and were like, look, if we could pick up the vehicle this week, we'll give you an extra $2,000. And she was like, shit, come pick it up. I don't need it. So I definitely think selling your car to Carvana is super easy, super convenient. Buying a vehicle, just be on the lookout for things. Stay on top of them. If something looks a little bit odd, you know, don't be afraid to reach out to them and ask. Use the chat system that they have, the advocate thing. And this is not a sponsored vehicle or a sponsored video for Carvana, but if Carvana wants to sponsor me, you don't even have to pay me. Just give me one of those cars. Let me pick out a car. I'll give you a 10 out of 10 for that shit. All right, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this little informational video. This is what this channel is about. Just random shit that I want to talk about. I will talk about it on this channel so you can see if this is something that you want to do. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. Hit that subscribe button and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later.